But we are really moving into Cujo territory, the territory of the big dog, race-wise. In 10th position, we have, maybe fittingly, my first ever 10k, which I ran in the beautiful little town of Ulster, just outside Stratford upon Avon. I loved it actually. Running a 10k is very strange. Never done one before. It's neither one thing nor the other. I didn't know whether you should pelt it off, could I sustain it, or whether you tried to hold a bit back and then you realise that you run out of mileage. Either way, I really enjoyed it, and I ran it in a fairly decent time of around about 37 minutes. Hogan's Cider also gave out shots of cider. People take refreshment stations so seriously. Give them cider, give them lager, do some jelly vodkas. Who cares? God, it's rock and roll. The medal, well, look, pitiful in every regard. Ribbon, I think, will probably be universal and will be used year on year, and that's got no date on it either. Oh, it's trash. It's really, really, really bad. Poorest medal on show, but the race was good. In 9th position, it was the Maverick Adidas Cotswold Trail half marathon that started from Sudeley Castle in the Cotswolds. Very middle class race village, a lot of teepees, a lot of open fires, a lot of baristas knocking about, all that caper. But what a race it was. Pretty challenging actually, I've got to say. I took a fairly nasty tumble in this race, but it didn't spoil things for me. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Medal watch. Now here we go. We've got a wooden medal for the environment. Whatever. I didn't finish in 9th position. I finished in 7th position in a time of 1 hour 37 minutes. It was a belter. In 8th position, it is the amazing Northampton Run. And a big thank you to Simon Hollis for putting me through this one. It was the first time I'd actually done a promo for it as well. No one watched it, so I shouldn't worry about it. There are a few of you who might have your doubts about even travelling to Northampton for anything, right? Hasn't got the best of reputations. How wrong could a person be? Simon had got everyone out. He'd got brass bands, he'd got the whole community out to watch and cheer and support this race. The course was awesome. Every building of any note whatsoever was squeezed and wrung out, and the route firmly wrapped around it. I enjoyed every second of it. It was a wonderful atmosphere. Idiots complained about it online for no reason at all that I could think of. Medal watch, well, look at this. It has got a date specific lanyard. You couldn't get more specific than that. And look at this. It's a silver effect representation of All Saints Church in Northampton. Wow, I'll tell you something. The amazing Northampton Run, it really was. I loved it. 1 hour 25 minutes. My legs loved it too. In 7th position, and making a real comeback this year, it was the Oxford Half Marathon. I ran it in 1 hour 24 minutes, my best ever time for Oxford. That, and with a stinking hangover on top of it as well. It's probably a bit unfair to rate it in the top 10. It's always going to feature highly for me. It is the most run race in my calendar. I think I've run it now 8 times, and I love every second of this race. Take note, it's called the Oxford Half Marathon. You start in the middle of Oxford, you run round landmarks in Oxford, you finish running round the Radcliffe Camera, you go straight down Broad Street. Look, it is fantastic. Did they right the wrongs of last year? Did they actually give you a decent medal? Did they give you a decent goodie bag? Did they give you a t-shirt? Yes, yes, yes. I think as a result of my protests. Oh, this year it is cut out of what's supposed to look like either brass or copper, with some wonderful Oxford landmarks embedded within it. It's a beauty. Oxford is in 7th place. In 6th position, it is the Broadway Full Marathon. Now, Broadway is the absolute highlight on my calendar. It's run by Cotswald Trail Events, Emma and Ian. I love these guys. The setting itself is absolutely superb. I would recommend anybody do this very, very difficult, very, very muddy trail event. But do the half. this year I did the full and I was about as finished as Michael Barrymore. But honestly, I cannot recommend this race enough on the calendar. Get in there quickly because the half marathon sells out. I will be doing this half marathon every single year. Let's have a quick look at medal watch. Well, I actually do get a different lanyard. I get the Broadway Marathon. It's pretty well, other than that, the same as last year. We get a little sort of emblem of the Broadway Tower. Either way, Emma, Ian, thank you so much this year. It was a real experience and I'm looking forward to seeing you next year at whichever way. It's longer. What am I doing? In 5th position, it's another trail race. It's the Mulvin Hills Half Marathon, the very first race I ran with Dave Tolbert event. The only thing about it that could have been better was the weather. The mist was so low up there that you could barely see where you were going. It was cruel, it was punishing, it was a really, really good half marathon. I would recommend anyone to do this, but get in there fairly quickly because it's expensive and it sells out. Look at this little beauty of a medal with some plastic inset there. This is the sort of chunky medal that you get when you run with Dave. The Mulvin Trail Half Marathon, set in the heart of the beautiful Mulvin Hills. I loved it and I came 14th. In 4th position, probably should be a little bit high because it really is the race of a lifetime. It's the London Landmarks Half Marathon. If you've never done it before, it's an absolute no-brainer. You essentially run around landmarks, funnily enough. The support is fabulous. There are bands, there is entertainment and stretched around every corner. There is always something to see. The only issue is it's difficult to get in and it's an expensive weekend. But the course is fast and the course is flat. There's a lot of people there though, so maybe try and get yourself at the front of your wave because you really do have to work hard to get away from everybody and to get yourself that little bit of breathing room. It was the race where I met Ronnie, who told me my time even though I didn't want to know it, but there I set my personal best of 1 hour 23 minutes. Can I beat it in 2024? Stay tuned and find out. Now, the medal itself, oh my goodness me. Look, we've got the Tower of London there, but it's not just the Tower of London. Look, this little medal has got a hinge attached to it and it opens, right? But it's a financial decision. They're hoping that you'll pay for an iTab to have your name and your time put in there, right? It's exploitation at its best. In 3rd place, and last year's winner as a small scale road running event, you cannot beat the Kennworth Half Marathon. It is so well organised and the places are filled up with some fairly hardcore, fairly serious runners. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for Mom. But it's Kennworth and they put the castle on the badge, so you run through the castle. It makes sense. I ran it fairly quickly. I think I did it in around about 1:25, which I was really pleased with. Medal watch this year, bit of slate with a wood backing and a lanyard that's got nothing printed on it. That's bad. Only thing, that's bad. Now for the top 2. Which way is it going to go? And in 2nd place, and God, this was so close, it's the Oxfordshire Adidas Maverick Trail Half Marathon. It was my last race of the year. I love the fact that it was snowy. I love the fact that it was freezing cold. I love the fact that I got to wear my body warmer. I love the fact that I went in the wrong direction again. It was a trail race and some of the trails were fairly brutal. There were a couple of hills that you genuinely have to walk up, but some of the downhills really were exceptional. I loved it. And the Oxfordshire trail race comes in 2nd position. Medal watch, here we go again. Yeah, we've got just a general Maverick lanyard and a wooden medal. Wooden, better for the environment, more middle class? Certainly not the best medal in the world, but everything else about that race was superb. And number 1 for 2023 is... oh, how could I have anything other than the Naseby Shires and Spires Trail/Road Half Marathon, in which I came 3rd It was unbelievable. Like, it was brilliant. It had everything for me. It had the right mixture between a location that wasn't too remote, was fairly easy to get to. Some of it was in roads, some of it was on trails. It was brilliant. And not only that, the man who was in third place pulled his hamstring 6 miles in, and I swooped in to take third place by some distance actually. Right, so medal watch, here it is. It's cut glass. It's absolutely fabulous. There it is. But that's not all. I got a trophy. I was the third place finisher, and there it is. It says I'm the third male, the third most masculine person out of hundreds of other men at that race.
Do I get a medal?
Medal and a trophy.
Oh, wicked.
It's there. It's number 1 in 2023. And there we go. That brings everything to a close for Marm for 2023. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Have a very, very Merry Christmas.